So, Chapter 5, Drums in the Deep. So this used to be an absolute bloody pain in the day, because they used to be individual quest instances. But now they've been converted to be skirmishes, and they still take just as long. But you can actually get at least a bit of loot for it, at the very least. So we need to talk to Broga and defend the Deep Way. Now, annoyingly, I think we literally have to talk to him first.
Yeah, we do.
Which is a bit of a pain. But I also need to do the skirmish tutorial. So, hey. So we may come back to that one a bit later, I guess.
We're not doing that now.
Or do we want to do it now? I suppose we probably want to do it.
Yeah, but
do you guys... I will have to do the tutorial while you guys just scratch your balls for a bit.
And? You scratch your balls all the time when you're yammering away out of the way.
Too much info. So, in the meantime, I need to go to the 21st hall. And I don't think I have a quick way of getting there because I don't have a quest ready. So, let's talk to the stable master. Actually, no, it's fine. It's a swift travel. So, skirmishes are something that you can do at any point after level 20 in the game. And there are various ones that unlock roughly about every 5 levels. You'll probably get a new skirmish or instance unlocked. Some of them are tied to quest packs or expansions, but they came in originally with the Mirkwood expansion as part of that epic storyline for Mirkwood. But then some of it was rolled back, as I say. Like some of these instances in Moria used to be quest instances, but then they were converted to be skirmishes. So this is the first point in the game where they kind of like fall into to being part of the epic storyline and that. Where is... There we go. Skirmish Captain. So you have to report to any skirmish camp inside the game. They're generally outside most major settlements in every region. But this one's in the 21st hall in Moria, so we'll just speak to this guy. He's going to give us a couple of training instances, which I'll probably have to do on my own, so I'll just have to leave fellowship and travel now. So we're going to have a load of voiceover, so if you guys just keep quiet for a bit.
La 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 la.
Shush.
Yeah.
I'll do that normally. But yeah, second watcher Heathstraw here is going to give us some epic narration, which means I don't have to do bad voice acting for you guys. So let's see what he says. But he's talking very quietly, so let's turn the voice up.
Fortunately, there are soldiers of the free peoples willing to fight by your side. If you call them, they will aid you. Use the horn here. Learn the skill it possesses. Then call forth a soldier to aid you in retaking Bree.
Okay, so we have to pick up the horn that's on that box, which gives us the ability
Good.
to summon a soldier.
Now use your new skill and call forth a soldier of the free
Have we not
peoples.
covered skirmishes before?
No, to my knowledge. I may be wrong. But anyway, so we're going to get this new pop-up overlay while we're inside skirmishes. You can move it around if it's spawned in a crappy location. The UI button, at least on a UK English keyboard, is Control and Hash, which will bring up this nasty UI. It varies on your native keyboard language. It's generally Control on whatever button is left of the Enter key. So it could be like Control tilde, it could be Control whatever the hell you guys have on your keyboards, basically.
It's kind of fine because it just mentions all the American style keyboards.
If in doubt, if you go into options and key mapping, I think if you search for UI, no, that's not going to help, is it? Let's find what the option is called. It's not going to tell us. There we go. Reposition UI. In my case, it's Control and Hash. But if you look that up inside your settings, it will tell you what it is. And then you can bring up this menu. You can then move this panel around somewhere more appropriate for you guys.
Very good. Now let me share with you the plan of how you're going to reclaim Bree.
So we have to talk to him now. We've got a soldier out, and you can actually customise these guys as well, but they're basically like a random pet. You can dress them up as various different races, make them like various different classes. They don't directly correspond to the classes of the player classes, but they pretty much are, if we're honest. But we can change them to be, you know, man, hobbit, dwarf, whatever, and customise how they look as well. But at the minute we've just got a plain vanilla one, which is just a man, and he's going to be a warrior by default. So if we advance the quest.
Skirmishes against the enemy focus on taking and controlling locations of value and importance around the battlefield. In reclaiming Bree, these locations are the South Gate, the Auction House, and Bill Fernie's home in that order. The gate is well protected, but your soldier will aid you in the battle. If he falls, simply call for another by reusing the skill you learned. If not for my arm, I would be at your side as well. Now go and reclaim Bree.
There we go, so we can now leave this little encampment. But as you guys can see, it's actually snowing in Bree, and that's because in terms of the timeline, it's actually more towards the end of the War of the Ring, where, you know, back home in Bree and the Shire, things are not looking too good.
And Saruman.
Yeah, Saruman's up to no good. But technically, for where we are in the story, that's kind of spoilers because we haven't even been to Rohan yet. We're still firmly inside of like Fellowship in the Ring, basically. Timeline. So there we go. We have to kill a load of mobs. I'm not even sure where my soldier's gone. He's disappeared. He's still inside the camp, the lazy bugger. If I dismiss him, resummon him. Where are you going? Come back. But he should follow you by default anyway. So come inside here. There's going to be a couple of mobs. But the general gist of skirmishes is they're meant to be like fully scalable, so you can have them as like 1-man solo instances, duos, 3-man, 6-man, or 12-man sized groups. And you can basically kind of customise it to your heart's content. They're not particularly engaging. You know, how much fun that you're going to get out of it probably depends on how brain dead you are. If we're honest,
Wow.
They're not as elaborately designed as like a proper instance, but you know you can kind of like size it to your group. But this tutorial, it's only available as the tutorial. There is a similar equivalent one to it, which is a bit more fully fledged than that. But the general gist of it is you're either doing an attacking skirmish or a defending skirmish. So in this case we're doing an attack one, so we have to go capture all these control points with these flags. Generally, as soon as you capture a point as well, it pisses off the enemy and they might counter-attack it.
There is technically a third type of skirmish as well.
Yeah, another boring kind.
Survival.
Well, that's only one skirmish.
I know. But
So-
it's classed as an individual type, so...
Yeah. So occasionally as well we're going to get these things called encounters. These are just random chance things where, you know, a particular mob or something will spawn and you can go kill it, and I think there is an achievement for killing all the encounters inside each skirmish anyway, so
There is, yeah, inside every single skirmish.
you can get like some bonus marks for doing that. There's also like various different lieutenants and that we can see. I think we'll be talking about lieutenants in the second tutorial. But these are basically predefined classes of enemy, which each have their unique pros and cons. And sometimes you can get more than one lieutenant at a time as well. And then it becomes a case of which one do you focus first and why. Because some lieutenants you want to kill them quickly because the buffs they offer make the rest of the enemies near them disgusting. Other ones you want to leave till last
Good
because
work.
killing them early causes
The
problems.
south of Bree is once again free. There is more to do, but it can wait until tomorrow.
There is more to do, but we can wait till tomorrow. Fuck that shit. So talk to him, finish that, and that's the first tutorial done.
You have to do the second one.
And I have to do the second one as well, yeah. So we've had our basic intro to like the general format of skirmishes and what our soldier is. But now we're actually told how to do it. So next we need to do Defense of the Prancing Pony. And I think it's still technically Or can I do this one with you? I guess I can, probably. Since I do it by the instance finder.
In that case...
So, yeah, invite me back. Oh, no, it has to be a solo one. Nah, I just have...
Yeah.
Has to be solo, buy it. But it has to be done via the instance finder, so there we go. If I just join that. Whenever you do one of these via the instance finder, you can choose a tier 1, 2 or 3. The tiers just basically mean it's slightly harder, the mobs have more health, do more damage, etc. You can choose what level you want to run it at. There's no advantage really to doing it at a low level because you won't get any rewards. If you do it at a slightly higher level, you might get a few more rewards. But you don't want to make it too hard, otherwise you're not going to be able to do it. But depending on how hard you make it, this mark percentage will go up and down. So, like for example, if I was to put it on a tier 3 level 60 and launch it, I'm going to get 126% marks rather than just 100%. But we don't really want to take the piss too much, so I'll just leave it tier 1 for now, just for the tutorial, get it done.
The inhabitants of Bree have spent the occupation holed up within the Prancing pony. Angered at their uprising, the brigands have decided to burn them out.
So in this case we're doing a defensive skirmish now. So we've got the Prancing pony in Bree, which is behind us, which is technically the old style Prancing pony, isn't it? Because this is the skirmishes still use the old Bree land map, which hasn't been updated. But whatever. So we continue.
You will need a stronger ally for this foray. There are many ways soldiers can be trained and outfitted for battle. Archers, warriors, protectors, sages, bannermen, and herbalists are all willing to answer your call. For this battle, a warrior will be to our best advantage.
This is interesting.
Will? Tom, come out here for a moment. Speak to Will, purchase the warrior role trait, then speak to Tom and complete the soldier's training.
Okay, so in this case we're going to be taught how to do the various traiting and that of the soldiers. So if we train skirmish traits with this guy, for the tutorial purposes he's only going to teach us the warrior trait, but normally if you speak to the guys at the skirmish camps, they'll give you the full list of available roles and stuff. And this is going to be free as well, so I mean we can actually train it up a few levels. So I think we might be a bit disgusting. Let's train him up. There we go. A level 10 one. I don't make it too high, otherwise it'd be a bit ridiculous, but whatever. Manage your traits. There we go.
Quick tech issue. My screen just froze as it alt tabbed out. I can't do anything.
Lol.
Control Alt Delete.
I've tried everything. Alt Delete, Alt F4.
Okay, so
Windows
I already have.
I'm have to restart my computer.
I already have a couple of bits and pieces, so I can either make a Rohirrim female or Rohirrim male. Let's go for a Rohirrim lady.
Catch you in a minute.
See you in a bit. So those are the only traits that I've got on this character at the minute. So they're going to be a level 9 warrior, and you can see on the traits as well, it's got a approximate level for what that's appropriate for. So level 47 and that. It doesn't matter if they're low level, but you should generally try and keep this as close to your level as possible, even ahead of your level. But it does get a bit expensive as time goes on. So we'll accept that. We will summon the soldier.
Very good.
It's not so much that
The
it
warrior
gets
will
expensive
increase
as
our
time goes
offensive
on, but to keep
capability
it
and allow us
current
to cut
your
through
level, it
waves
gets
of enemies.
expensive. The higher you are from it,
We can't hear you because the man's talking. But yeah, to elaborate on what you're saying, yeah, if you buy traits that are lower level than yourself, it is cheap. If it's higher level than yourself, it's above price. So the later you leave it before you buy it, the cheaper it can be overall. But yeah, we're going to kick off this fight now.
Will, Tom, get back inside. We'll handle this. Prepare yourself, my friend. Their first wave approaches.
So we're going to have various waves of enemies attacking either from the west or the south.
I believe we have a moment of respite before their assault continues.
So that's alright, there's only 2 guys attacked in that wave.
The enemy
Yeah,
employs a
in
number
the
of terrible
tutorial, it's
lieutenants,
really limited
specially
number
trained
numbers.
enemies with unique skills. It is difficult to know which lieutenants march with the enemy until they arrive on the battlefield.
Also a nice little
I
trick
caught
for
a
the
glimpse of a
Can't hear
large
you.
orc with this force. Be prepared. It could come at any time. Here they come again. To
Yes.
arms!
Our second wave is coming, so what have we got? We have a Protector of the Vile. So if ever you don't know what these guys do, you can generally see what buffs and that they offer. So this guy's going to protect his fellow guys and on himself. And he also summons some crows as well, which is a bit annoying. We're going to get a deed for slaying these
I believe we
guys.
have a moment of respite before their assault continues.
So if we have a look at our completed deeds, we have to defeat one of those guys. So we're going to get one of them in a tutorial. It's always going to be this guy. But these will show up on the skirmish tab of your deed log, where you've got one for the instances. So it might be completing various different bits of each instance. And then a second tab for the skirmish lieutenants, which are shared between all the different instances. So no matter which skirmish you get, you could potentially get any lieutenant. Some lieutenants will only spawn in, let's say, the raid-sized skirmishes. Some might only spawn in solo ones. So you might have to have a little play around with the group sizes to see which lieutenants you get.
I thought they all spawned in 2 or more in group size, but that
No.
there's- Oh,
There are definitely some that are going to be raid only.
fair enough.
I think, well, all of them I think can spawn in the raid setting. I think they just have a minimum group size before some of them appear.
Yeah.
Because some of the tougher ones, if you get them in a solo one, you're screwed basically.
Yeah. It's just I remember doing a 2-man with someone else in the kin a little while ago, and we got 2 priests of vengeance, the ones that cast reflect, at the same time with no other mobs with them.
So they just buffed each other.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Oh yeah. We managed to get them killed by bleeds, but you know.
Okay,
Welcome back, Benji.
we are kicking off the third wave, so he's going to talk some more.
As you encounter and defeat more lieutenants,
He's
you will
still in the
learn more
tutorial.
about how they affect the
He
battlefield
is indeed, yeah.
and what you can do to expose and exploit their individual weaknesses. They all have at least one. I believe we are nearing the end of this battle. Defeat this assault and Bree will be free once more. Here they come!
So the final attack is incoming. We're going to kill these guys. There we go. But we haven't actually had a look at our Rohirrim lady. There you go. So she's got like a Rohirrim tunicky outfit. Okay, our last guy, we've got Driftlords, General of the Enemy, Balthelion, Harry Goatleaf. So these guys should go down pretty quick.
Kill the general at first and the other 2 run away.
Well, it doesn't matter. They're all dying to my AoE anyway.
That's true. But I mean, the general makes the other 2 run away whenever he
Bang.
dies.
This isn't worth dying for, he says as he can't work out if he's running towards us or away from
They
us.
have been vanquished!
The third assault has been defeated, Driftlords has been vanquished, and Bree is free once more. So if we talk to him again, and it's going to just bring up loads of bloody help tooltips.
Near the major locations of Middle-earth, you will find skirmish camps. Bree, Rivendell, and Thorin's Hall, to name a few.
There you can barter your skirmish marks for new and better soldier traits and gear and equipment for yourself.
Safe travels, my friend. Perhaps we will meet again in another skirmish against the enemy. For now, I salute your courage.
There we go, so we're done here. Travel now. Speak to him, and he should give us some
May Durin
free
return
traits.
soon to his halls.
And I need to turn down the volume again because I don't want every dwarf in Mori that I speak to now to be on 100% volume. Let's take that down to...
We are doing bad things here.
It is said the Durin's Bane dwells here, but we have not seen it. Gandalf killed it, mate. Now calm down. Okay.
Dwarves must fight for dwarves.
So if we hand this in, we're going to get a field manual about traits to teach us how to do stuff, which we can just bin because we know what we're doing. You're also going to be given various characteristics. So the basics training skirmish just basically means you've passed your training. You're now allowed to open up any skirmish that you're allowed to do so.
If you're on free to play, you only get certain skirmishes.
Yeah, there's only a couple that you'll get. But if you buy certain regions, certain expansions, or are VIP, then you get all of them. So we can also choose what other type of soldier we want here. So a warrior is basically like a champion, an archer is basically like a hunter, a sage is basically like a runekeeper, a banner guard is like a really crap captain, a herbalist is a generic healer, it's kind of like a a minstrel / runekeeper healer, and a protector is basically a tank, so like a guardian or a warden. Herbalist is generally the go-to for everyone. You can't go wrong with a herbalist, either in solo or in groups. In group size skirmishes, you generally don't want... you definitely don't want protectors, because protectors are really irritating because they will force taunt enemies, which is great for solo skirmishes. But if you're doing a raid skirmish with a load of other people and your soldier then does a force taunt and takes aggro off the proper tank, who's a real player, they tend to get rather pissed off. So it's kind of frowned upon using a protector. The damage ones, are all right, but they might end up dying. But if everyone's got a herbalist and that, they're relatively inoffensive. You're not going to cause any problems. So if in doubt, just pick a herbalist. You can't really go wrong. Now we did get warrior instructions anyway as part of that, so I'll just say, give me a herbalist.
Yeah, you're guaranteed one level in start.
But you can buy these anyway. So just to give you guys a quick summary, if we go to a skirmish trainer NPC.
Even if you took the herbalist, you could always pick up points in warrior, or you can fully customize it just like your traits on your character.
I can't remember the shortcut key for the...
J or control... No, it's J, I think. Is it or control K? One of those.
Control K,
yeah, control K.
I knew it's a trait button of some sort.
So yeah, we've got a stats panel, which is basically our just statistics for playing various skirmishes, which is per character. But the traits tab is broken down into 4 bits. So there's attributes, skills, training, and personal. So the attributes tab is what is your soldier? So, what role are they going to fulfill, and what do they look like in terms of customization? So you can put in like a racial trait, you can put in an appearance, you can put in a couple other bits and pieces. But you can buy these, and they are ranked. I have no idea these days what the current maximum rank is, but it goes up generally with every new region or expansion that comes out. But they cost a few marks each. The skills are basically for every class of soldier. There are various skills that you can equip and give to them. So it could be like an AoE damage attack. It could be like a healy thing. It could be a force taunt. So you can customize what your soldier does beyond just simply do auto attacks. The training ones are various buffs that you can give your soldier, so you might make them have a bit more health, a bit more mitigations, that kind of stuff. And then the last thing is the personal traits. So these are things you equip on your soldier, but you get the buffs. So you might give yourself some more crit defense, more health, and various other stuff like that. So you can have up to 3 things to buff yourself as well in skirmishes. So you might want to tailor those to be more solo orientated, so like more defensive stuff, or it could just be increase your damage for a skirmish as well, which is also nice. But we're not going to worry too much about that. So we've done the tutorial. So next up we need to go to Broga and defend the Deep Way. So I'll meet you guys down there. Because sadly we can't go down there properly and do it.
Yeah, we're already down there, so...
How convenient. So I will cut away and meet you guys shortly.